Hello, good afternoon all. Greetings. Myself Professor Sanjay Kalekar, working as an assistant professor at DRT Sri Kalseka Degree College, Kausa. The college is permanently affiliated to the University of Mumbai. I'm entitled to give my viewpoints on the present education system and the era of this pandemic which has brought a kind of landmark change or an advent of technology implemented in the teachings and learnings. Ramanujan College is doing the same for all of us. This is the toughest time for all of us, being locked down in our homes. The emergence of the technology was brought in by the education policy of a government in the policy drafts subsequently. The implementation of ICT began long back in 1986. However, we are really far back compared to the other nations using it in our teaching and learning activities. Here, I believe to have a couple of reasons. First of all, it was the lack of ICT knowledge and infrastructure in India. Secondly, it was due to the disinterestedness of our faculty nationwide to adapt to this advent. The use of ICT has certainly brought a massive change. It's pandemic COVID 19, which compelled all of us to review, revise, and revitalize the use of ICT in our methodologies as well as learnings from around. I'm in the opinion of using it to some extent and not in the compulsory mode. Basically, where there are a number of reasons for me making this about statement. In India, this online education has more serious challenge when the heterogeneity of learners is considered and also of teachers. Through these ICT tools used in teaching and learning, the credibility of examinations, testing analytical skills, application of knowledge, and internalization of students seems difficult and unachievable. A few exercises with Google Classroom, while Google Forms, Testmos, or Edmodo may not suffice the need and actual aim of examinations. Given these tools may not access the year-long learning at a time, MCQs would certainly not be an option which is provided through these practices. The other reason is the availability of ICT and infrastructure along with trained faculty. Basically, we Indians have all smart technologies like smartphones, Android phones, and other iPhones also, or other major devices with the problems of internet services with high bandwidth, and that problems is still persistent. And I still feel that won't be solved in coming many years. We are still not neatly wired to transfer knowledge to the largest classes. The other problem of being sincere to online learning. There is a huge difference between logged in and tuned in. All those logged in may not be attentive, and the percentage of such classes is really high. The remoteness and, importantly, informality regarding these classes affects the online platform. In the entire process, the quality of teacher is to be maintained. How can this be possible? How does a teacher become a content writer, creator, orator, and a technician at overnight? Answer to all these questions lies in the present situation. This calamity has tried and tested all of us on the aforesaid grounds. We almost all have taken up a challenge and adopted the Darwinian law of survival this test. Every one of us is running around the clock to equip oneself with those tools and to manage online teaching learning processes. To me, this unorganized efforts and a commotion created untimely. This can be run as a massive development by our HRDC, UGC, and the parallel academic bodies with long-term planning and development. However, half knowledge is always as dangerous. If this is true, then our taking up such half learnings would ultimately result in a disaster. As to avoid this result, I think UGC and HRDCs have planned Swayam, NPTEL, and many other platforms to train and equip staffs on better projects. Now, I don't want to blame anyone here by stating what I feel in the above areas. My humble opinion is stated in plain words. The teaching and other academic staff is hired with at least some kind of or some skills. Consequently, all of them have elaborated on and to on enhancing those skills by some or the other way. Our country is progressive in such matters. The government schemes all yet to reach to stay